Now you're going.
Hi, I'm Michaela and my project is Moments to Money. This is just my big idea, which is the same. I haven't changed it since my proposal presentation, so it's still taking photos and selling them for money. My detailed questions were learning how to take professional pictures, which I have done, and I'll explain that later. Create a style of photography and research the public style. I'm still doing that. I've taken a variety of pictures, but I haven't really sold any yet, so I don't know what the public style is yet. And then research websites that sell photos. I've done that, and I will explain that later. So the first competency that I have is ELA 3, which I have completed by looking at selling websites and finding the best ones and why. So the websites I am using I'm using them because they are either free or really cheap to use, and they are easy to navigate and use for me being a beginner. And so those are the websites I'm using. Right now I'm mainly using the Darkroom and Alamy, but I've also got a shop opened on Etsy. So
Which we need to promote. Sorry.
yes, websites I'm not using. It's either because I have to be 18 or older, even though my mom has kind of given me permission to use them, or they cost a lot. You have to buy a subscription to actually use their website, or one of them only went through an app, or they needed a website. So those are all the ones that fall under why I'm not using them. My next competency is Visual Arts 1, which is I completed by taking photos, editing them, and finding ways how I could improve them or make them look better. And it proves that I learned new photography skills and terms and use them. So I learned the three main terms were IOS, or exposure, which is how bright or dark your photo is. Aperture, which is how big the camera lens is open. So the smaller it is, the less light, and the bigger it is, the more light. Which also affects your depth of field, which is how much is in focus in the picture. Shutter speed is how fast the camera lens or the thing and the camera opens and closes. So if you have something moving, you obviously want it faster or it will be blurry. And then raw files are bigger because I've had some issues to where the one website has to be a certain size, and by the time I've uploaded them and edited them, they weren't big enough. So we had to change it to raw to make them bigger so I could use them for a couple of sites. Okay, so to go back with that competency, this is comparing the one photo of the dog. That's comparing how I used Lightroom to edit them. I went through a process, and then the other one, the saxophones are my first pictures that I took, and then the Barone bales are my progress of more of a recent picture that I've taken. So those are some other ones of my better ones. The ones on the left are more of my first ones, and then you get to the right, which are our newer ones. So my next competency is Visual Arts 5, which I completed by reviewing my photos and deciding what needs to be fixed and edited. Using editing software like Lightroom to improve the quality of my photos and help improve how to take better pictures. So what I can't edit through Lightroom and what I need to change on the camera, and then continue to improve my quality and the process so I get better photos out of it. So that's the process I went through. So that the one on the left is my beginning photo, and then I took it in the Lightroom, and I got in Photar, which is another editing, and then I sent the middle picture to my mentor, and she helped me edit it even more, giving me tips that I needed to take the blue out of the black, the blue hue out of the black, and so then the final picture is on the right. So that's my process. My next competency is Visual Arts 13, which I completed by using feedback from old photos to improve and increase future photos, which is kind of what my mentor helped me do. I sent some of my first photos, and she gave me feedback on what I needed to change to give me better photos later in the future. And then I also am showing what I'm experiencing and learning is also changing my photo taking process. So this is an example. When I submitted my pictures on the Alamy, it had to go through a quality control thing, and so they rejected, like, I have 4 rejected submissions, and then finally on my 5th one they passed. But when they rejected it gave me tips, like if it was like soft or lacking definition, or if there was noise. So it gave me tips on how I could improve my future photos. The competencies that I have not completed are ELA 1, which I have to ask peers on their opinions of my photos and what they like and dislike to help me promote my selling. Business management, as administration, and entrepreneurship 4, which I had to find selling websites that I can sell my photos on, which I have done, but I haven't quite promoted it as a marketing strategy, like posting it on like the website or Facebook or something like that to get it out there. And then visual arts 3, I took pictures and think about what I should take pictures of, and then try to do it, like, and then talk about how I'm organizing. So I've taken pictures, but like just to rough like take pictures, but now I need to actually think of like a good subject and try to get like a decent picture out of it, and then like organize all my pictures into like different categories. The last 2 competencies that I haven't yet completed are visual arts 4, which I have to take photos and learn ways to improve them, which I'm in the process, and my mentor is helping me with that, and then keep taking the same subjects. So I should go back to like one of my first pictures and then retake that subject now and try to see if it changes with what I've learned. And then visual arts 6, I will complete it by presenting my photos on selling websites, which I have started, and I will receive feedback based on what sells and what doesn't, which I can't do because nothing is sold yet. But I will then use that info to take pictures that will make me a profit. My timeline hasn't changed, so it's stayed the same. Everything is still a day ahead. So my benchmark 1 was September 30th, and I had to learn how to take professional pictures and find the best websites to sell and post my pictures on the websites, which I completed I watched several YouTube videos, I read many articles online, I talked, Mrs. Toole helped me since she's yearbook and she knows how to run a camera, and then I've also emailed my mentor once a week, and she's given me a lot of tips on how to take better pictures, the different modes, and just a bunch of tips to help me. And then for the websites, I researched several websites and picked the best ones, and I had to like evaluate each website, which was a lot of work. And then I uploaded several photos on each site, some which worked and some that didn't quite work. So that was a process within itself. My mentor is Shelly Baxter. She's a photographer. That's like her job, and we email once a week. Our relationship is really good. I'll email her like a little paragraph like of some questions, and she'll write me like a whole explanation page back with like a bunch of helpful tips and what she might do and what I could do different on taking pictures, the editing process, and even websites. So she's been a lot of help, and I like her as my mentor. She's a great mentor. Thank you. Are there any questions?
So what is your promotion plan? You have an idea?
I'm going to post them on, you said you might post them on the websites, all of
I
that.
would,
And then I can post them onto like some social media, like maybe Facebook or Instagram or something to get them out there, and like people can like share it or something.
Yes. Sharing is a good thing, yeah.
I might have missed this earlier, but how much are you charging for each picture?
It kind of depends, because like Etsy I can pick, and so looking at other photos similar to mine, I roughly price them around them, but like other websites, they do it automatically for me. I don't get a pick, so I just submit my photos, and if they accept them, they price them to what.
So on Etsy, what are you charging for them?
I have $5 a photo. Because
And
that's
that
what
is-
they were roughly.
Is that that's a digital
Digital
photo,
photo,
right?
yes.
So it's a digital.
But if
She
you-
doesn't print them out and
Right.
supply them; they
Yes.
just download them.
But if you go to like Darkroom, that's where you can order it on like a canvas or whatever.
Uh-huh.
They have them priced to print them off on the canvas and to get them to you, so it's all automatically priced. hard to
Okay.
mess with that.
Nice. Anybody else?
That picture that you have of the dog, like that's like my favorite picture. How did you get the dog to like stay that still?
Honestly, I don't really know. I just walking outside and I needed pictures and I got her attention and I just happened to like have the right angle and she sat still long enough that I got the picture. I don't know. I guess it was just
lucky.
luck.
It's a really cool picture.
Okay, anybody else?
Anything else?
Nice job, Michaela. Really nice.